Trigon, the big red dad of doom, interdimensional demon overlord, and possibly the only guy who shows up to family reunions by burning down entire realities. Trigon is a DC Comics villain, best known for being the father of Raven from Teen Titans and the walking embodiment of "I pay child support in apocalyptic nightmares." He's a demon of unimaginable power, ruler of countless dimensions, and basically the guy other demons call when they need therapy. His power is so vague, writers just say things like he conquered 1,000 universes and move on. Like that's not even impressive anymore. Trigon probably did that before breakfast while reading demon Twitter. He's wiped out entire dimensions like he's cleaning out his inbox, fathered armies of demon kids just for funsies, and his idea of parenting is gifting his daughter Raven the power to end everything if she ever sneezes too hard. When Trigon shows up, the Justice League doesn't call for backup. They call for retirement. He's got reality warping, soul-devouring, mood-ruining powers, and he dresses like a metal album cover came to life. And let's not forget, he's basically unkillable unless the plot really needs him to die. If power levels were on a scale from 1 to 10, Trigon would be somewhere around "why are we even trying?" And that's on a good day. Arceus. Arceus, the cosmic llama horse goat thing from the Pokemon universe, is basically what happens when someone asks, what if God was a shiny space alpaca with a golden hula hoop? Allegedly born before time, space, and logic itself, Arceus is said to have emerged from a literal egg in the nothingness of the void, because of course the universe starts with a giant egg. Without any hands, or a mouth for that matter, Arceus somehow created the entire Pokemon multiverse, including Dialga, time, Palkia, space, and Giratina, antimatter and general bad vibes, which is sort of like building IKEA furniture using only willpower and passive-aggressive glares. Fans often rank Arceus as one of the most powerful gods in fiction, not because it has an impressive CV of heroic feats or a KD ratio that would make Kratos blush, but because its Pokédex entry flat-out says, "It shaped the universe with its 1,000 arms, which are completely invisible, non-existent, and possibly metaphorical." Arceus is immune to almost everything, has the power to be every type at once, and can canonically unmake existence before brunch. Yet despite all this divine grandeur, it can still get bopped on the head by a particularly spicy level 5D doof if you're not careful. Truly, a god among Pokemons, but still bound by turn-based combat and the universal law of critical hit at the worst time. Zeno. Zeno, also known as the Omni King, is basically the cosmic toddler of the Dragon Ball universe, adorable, squeaky-voiced, and capable of turning entire realities into cosmic glitter just because he felt like it. Don't let the cute chibi look fool you. This little guy isn't playing with action figures, he's playing with universes. He's the top dog, the head honcho, the absolute monarch of everything that exists in Dragon Ball Super. And by everything, I mean everything. Planets, timelines, alternate realities, even your favorite filler episodes. Zeno doesn't fight like Goku or blast ki waves. Nope, he just raises his hand, does a little poof motion, and snap, your whole existence gets Thanosed. But with less drama and more childlike glee. He once erased 6 universes because he got cranky, and nobody batted an eye because what are you gonna do? Throw hands with the literal god of gods? He's so powerful that even the gods of destruction tremble like wet puppies around him, and Goku, in all his Saiyan cluelessness, treats him like a BFF from kindergarten. If you put Zeno in a power ranking chart, he wouldn't even get a number. He'd just get a question mark next to a warning label that says, "Do not upset." The guy doesn't have stats because stats would cry trying to define him. Zeno is what you get if you gave a cosmic nuke the personality of a 5-year-old. Dormammu. Dormammu from Marvel is basically what happens when you mix a cosmic flamethrower with the sass of a disgruntled stage actor and the ambition of a megalomaniac who skipped therapy. Hailing from the dark dimension, yeah, not exactly a cozy Airbnb, Dormammu is a demon god thing made entirely of mystical energy, which means he doesn't need a gym membership, food, or even a nap. He's not just powerful, he's the kind of overpowered that makes other villains look like they're playing with action figures in a sandbox. He's defeated cosmic beings, warped reality like it's made of Play-Doh, and grows bigger and spickier whenever the plot demands it. He's basically magic's final boss, and if you try to throw hands with him, You better have an exit plan involving time loops and a very polite British sorcerer. The guy bends time, space, and logic like origami, commands an entire army, and yet somehow still finds time to be petty and dramatic, like threatening Earth just because someone dared say no to him. He is the final boss of any metaphysical argument, a walking, floating, existential dread with anger management issues and a flair for purple fire. If Eldritch Horror and a supernova had a baby, then let it major in evil sorcery. You get Dormammu with extra sass and zero chill. Zeus. Zeus in God of War is essentially the granddaddy of all gods, the head honcho of Mount Olympus, and the one who thought, why settle for being powerful when you can be the most powerful? He's the big guy in charge of the entire Greek pantheon, ruler of the skies, and a literal god of thunder. Zeus isn't just the CEO of the gods. He's like the boss who walks into the office and immediately makes everyone uncomfortable with his sheer presence. His power comes from controlling lightning, which is basically a cheat code in the world of gods. In God of War, he's the guy who can zap you into oblivion with a single bolt of his almighty lightning and has the strength to crush mountains like they're made of foam. He's like the combination of Thor's hammer, Poseidon's trident, and Hades' underworld, all wrapped into one divine, eternally grumpy package. Zeus has been around forever, so he's had time to perfect his godly antics, and when it comes to strength, this guy doesn't need a gym membership. He's got infinite cosmic energy running through his veins. Just to put it in perspective, he can probably bench press a planet while making breakfast. And let's not forget his ability to create massive storms and cause apocalyptic events just because he's having a bad day. If you ever find yourself face to face with Zeus, maybe skip the whole let's fight thing, because no matter how many video game buttons you press, you're not winning that one. Unless you're Kratos. Darkseid. Darkseid is basically what happens when a grumpy space rock becomes sentient and decides the entire universe needs to chill permanently. Hailing from the planet Apocalypse, this stone-faced galactic overlord isn't content with ruling a planet, a galaxy, or even a universe. Nah, he's got his sights set on all of existence. Why? Because he's obsessed with something called the anti-life equation, which sounds like an edgy high school band name, but is actually a cosmic code that lets him control every living being's free will. Yeah, he's the kind of guy who doesn't just want to win. He wants you to thank him for losing. He's got powers that make Superman look like he's cosplaying at Comic-Con, omega beams that zigzag through space like drone GPS signals, strength that can punch through realities, and a glare that could curdle milk from 10 light years away. And if you try to fight him, good luck, because he's not really there. Darkseid is chilling in some higher dimension, probably sipping existential tea while his avatars do all the dirty work. The dude's not even a villain anymore. He's an unskippable cosmic ad for despair. So why is he one of the most powerful gods in fiction? No one gave him points. He just walked into the multiverse like, I am the point, and everyone just kind of agreed. Yuga Khan. Yuga Khan is basically the cosmic equivalent of that one guy who shows up late to the party, flexes once, and everyone just goes home because they know they can't compete. He's the father of Darkseid, which already earns him a badge of terrifying dad energy, and he's so ridiculously overpowered that even the gods in the DC universe lock their divine doors when he's in town. The dude casually strolls around the source wall like it's a Sunday walk in the park. He once tried to absorb the source itself, the source like the primordial power behind all of creation, and he almost pulled it off like it was a DIY home project. His resume includes phrases like immortal, omniscient, and beyond multiversal comprehension, and yet DC gave him like 5 minutes of panel time before putting him back on the shelf like, okay, that's enough god tier dad for now. He's got no feats in terms of flashy battles or punch counts, because when you're on that level, you don't need to fight. You just are, and the universe politely rearranges itself to stay out of your way. Yuga Khan is one of the most powerful gods in fiction with 0 points on the board, but when you're the celestial equivalent of a cheat code, stats are kind of beneath you. Azathoth. Azathoth is essentially the cosmic equivalent of a toddler with a drum, but instead of a drum, it's the entire universe, and instead of a toddler, it's an omnipotent, blind, and completely mindless entity that somehow holds the entire cosmos together through sheer, incomprehensible chaos. Born from the mind of H.P. Lovecraft, Azathoth is one of the great old ones, a group of utterly incomprehensible cosmic beings that exist beyond human understanding. Azathoth doesn't have goals, plans, or even the concept of doing things. It's just an all-powerful, eternal force of chaos and madness that churns away at the center of reality. Its power is beyond measure, simply because it doesn't need to do anything to be the most powerful. You can't beat Azathoth because it doesn't fight. It just is. It is so strong that it doesn't need any form of structure, consciousness, or decision-making because everything happens around it, with it being oblivious to anything that occurs, including its own existence. Imagine the most powerful being in fiction being so lazy and unaware of its power that it's like if the sun just decided to take a nap and the entire universe continued to work perfectly, only no one would notice because the sun's sleeping. Azathoth is the definition of too powerful to care, and that's what makes it both terrifying and hilarious. The god of chaos who is literally too uninterested to do anything. Hey everyone! Thank you all for watching until the end. I'll be back with more videos, so make sure to like and subscribe. If you have any suggestions for my next video, comment them down below.